Welcome, let us begin.
A man can surely do what he wills to do, but cannot determine what he wills. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. First the truth is ridiculed, then it meets outrage, then it is said to have been obvious all along. We seldom to think of what we have, but always of what we lack. Therefore, rather than grateful, we are bitter. Our life is a loan received from death. We sleep as the daily interest on this loan. Man is the only animal who causes pain to others with no other objective than wanting to do so. You are free to do what you want, but you are not free to want what you want. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. Every man takes the limits of his own field of vision for the limits of the world. The majority of men are not capable of thinking, but only of believing, and are not accessible to reason, but only to authority. Thus, the task is not so much to see what no one yet has seen, but to think what nobody yet hath thought about that which everybody sees. Genius and madness have something in common. Both live in a world that is different from that which exists for everyone else. The universe is a dream, dreamed by a single dreamer, where all the dream characters dream too. The doctor sees all the weakness of mankind, the lawyer all the wickedness, the theologian all the stupidity. Every miserable fool has nothing at all of which he can be proud, adopts, as a last resource, pride in the nation to which he belongs. He is ready and happy to defend all its faults and follies tooth and nail, thus reimbursing himself for his own inferiority. The assumption that animals are without rights and the illusion that our treatment of them has no moral significance is a positively outrageous example of Western crudity and barbarity. Universal compassion is the only guarantee of morality. Pleasure is never as pleasant as we expect it to be, and pain is always more painful. The pain in the world always outweighs the pleasure. If you don't believe it, compare the respective feelings of two animals, one of which is eating the other. Life is a constant process of dying. Every nation ridicules other nations, and all are right. One should use common words to say uncommon things. It is a clear gain to sacrifice pleasure in order to avoid pain. A pessimist is an optimist in full possession of the facts. To overcome difficulties is to experience the full delight of existence. Just remember, once you are over the hill, you begin to pick up speed. What people commonly call fate is mostly their own stupidity. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. When you look back on your life, it looks as though it were a plot, but when you are into it, it's a mess, just one surprise after another. Then, later, you see it was perfect. A sense of humor is the only divine quality of man. A high degree of intellect tends to make a man unsocial. The safest way of being very miserable is not to expect to be very happy. Almost all of our sorrows spring out of our relations with other people. The young should early be trained to bear being left alone, for it is a source of happiness and peace of mind. If God made the world, I would not be that God, for the misery of the world would break my heart. After your death, you will be what you were before your birth. Happiness belongs to those who are sufficient unto themselves, for all external sources of happiness and pleasure are, by their very nature, highly uncertain, precarious, ephemeral, and subject to change.
Thank you for your time. Stay strong.